Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast and welcome to Star Player Spotlight. We are looking at the biggest little man out there, Grim Ironjaw, today. So what we're doing as this series, we're going through all the star players that have been revealed in the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook. We're looking at their stats, their skills, their price, their special abilities and the teams they can play for. And today we're going to be looking at one of the most interesting dwarf star players. And the first thing we always do is look at which teams can hire him. So Grim Ironjaw was around in the previous edition, but he essentially can be taken for a few more teams now, I think. So dwarves, obviously, halflings. Okay, so bear that in mind, because he's a strength 4 bruiser, so and a reasonably low price. So halflings, human, imperial nobility, ogre, and old world alliance. So Grim Ironjaw is now a weapon for a bunch of teams that need some strength, need some block, not just dwarves themselves. So let's have a look at exactly what he does. So Grim Ironjaw is 200,000. Now for a star player, that's not bad. We've seen a lot of them between kind of 170, 180 and 240. So Grim Ironjaw sits at a really reasonable costing. Now the great thing is, because he can be taken by more than dwarves, you're not often going to be 200k down in a dwarf match. But you might be able to put him in a tournament build, and you certainly will have the TV there if you're playing halflings, if you're playing ogres, humans reasonably, nobility might need it. So there is scope to buy Grim in a non-tournament environment, and actually he's an interesting piece for you. You may want to include him in a tournament environment as well. So let's have a look. So movement 5, fast for a dwarf, but a slow star player. Strength 4, however, is very useful. Now, we've covered this in videos before. Strength is now harder to get in a league environment. Significantly harder. You've got to save up a ton of SPP and really hope you roll a 15 or a 16, I think. So strength 4 is now bigger than it used to be, because there would always be in your league one or two players that got an edge boost or a strength boost, and they became their own star players. Grim and every Black Orc ever at strength 4 is going to get you 2 dice. It's going to get you 2 dice regularly, and those 2 dice are going to be rarer than they used to be before. So having Grim start at strength 4 for your team gives you a bit of punch. Edge 3+ is not bad for a dwarf. Passing dash, alright. Armor 9+, which is a little bit soft for a dwarf, however, he's still got thick skull. Skills wise, block, dauntless, frenzy. Okay, we've got our first typo. He's here. He is lover 4+. Thank you, iPhone. I'm pretty sure that's autocorrect. Right, so on a 4+, he's a great lover, but also loner 4+. So that's pretty on par with star players. They are often lover 4+. Alright, amazing. So he's got multiple block as well and thick skull. So strength 4, armor 9 plus thick skull means that your 200k star player is going to be around for the majority of the match. So you're going to get your money's worth out that way. You've got frenzy, block, strength 4. So everybody knows running frenzy, you can get yourself into trouble, and you kind of want to set up some guard assists or some decent assists, just so that you don't nuke yourself punching things you shouldn't be punching. Strength 4 is really going to help him out in that situation. So even if you bumble into a negative assist, he's going to be one dying with block, and he does have dauntless. So dauntless and multiple block together means that he's got a chance to drop his strength by 2 and then take a dauntless roll. So if you get one dude with guard and you put it next to both Grim Ironjaw's targets, he is going to be able to realistically have a decent shot at 2 dice twice with block. That is murdery. Now, interestingly, I'm just going to check this because I don't see Mighty Blow there. Now, I'm not sure if he had Mighty Blow in the olden days, because those days are long gone. No Mighty Blow for Grim Ironjaw. So strength 4 block is going to be able to knock him down. Having that lack of Mighty Blow is going to hurt ever so slightly. This guy can frenzy block someone big with dauntless. He can multiple block 2 regular guys with a bit of support quite profitably. Now, we talk about the number of activations you make in Blood Bowl, the number of dice you roll. Sometimes being able to make 2 dice block with block is really going to help you, because you can create a bit of a running lane, and the majority of the teams that take Grim, you'll either be in need of his strength, in need of his consistency, or the opportunity to do a double block will really help their maneuverability as a team. He does have a special skill just underneath his Lover 4+ skill, so he is a Slayer, and that means that once per game, when an opposition player with a strength characteristic of 5 or more is knocked down as a result of a block action performed by Grim, you can apply an additional +1 modifier to either the armor roll or injury roll. This modifier may be applied after the dice roll has been made. So there we go. We talked about him not having Mighty Blow, but he does get it once per game. Yeah, once per game when he's blocking a big dude. Seems like a bit of a flavor fail there. I would have loved that to be something really special, as it's once per game. I think it's a little bit of a miss. I think +2, +3 when you're fighting a big guy would have been pretty amazing for Grim. However, what he does give you is a solid strength 4 piece with block. Let's not underestimate that at all. You can pop that on the line, he's reasonably safe. You can use him as a mobile puncher if you want to. You are risking that loner 4+. But Dauntless, Frenzy, multiple block, and block does work together really well to give you a bit of a toolbox for murdering things. Mighty Blow hurts, but for 200k, getting that strength 4 piece is really going to make your line a lot stronger. And I think, as far as players go, he is pretty good, actually, for 200k. Let's have a look at some of the miniatures you can use to run Grim Ironjaw. First up, we've got the Forgiest of Worlds. So the Forge World model itself is, I think, £19, and it's not bad. Now, Forge World suffers a little bit with their paint jobs, which I appreciate. They are significantly better than the paint jobs I could do. So it might just be the photography, but something about them just makes them look a little bit underwhelming. However, he is a chunky little miniature there. He's definitely strength 4. It is a really nice build, and as far as the star player models go, he is one of the better ones. But for £19, you will get a miniature that you can use for Grim, and now he can be taken by 6 or 7 regular teams. He's not a bad pickup, but I do have an alternative for you. Please note, this doesn't say Windsor Chog. I'm getting a lot of comments here saying you're sponsored by Windsor Chog. But here's another company that I do really absolutely love, and this model would work brilliantly for Grim. I've got this model, I got it with the Kickstarter. The dwarf team from Fanath is wicked. It's a little bit on the cartoony side, but I cannot tell you how much it just smacks of 2nd edition Blood Bowl. So if you are a pro 2nd edition old school player, if you long for a polystyrene pitch, check out the Fanath Blood Bowl team. But secondly, the Slayer boss, he is of a very reasonable size, very reasonable detail, and a very reasonable price, available on the Fanath website, I think for about £8. I've forgotten because I got distracted looking at other star players from Fanath. But yeah, he's about £8 from Fanath, and quite frankly, I think if you like this model, you're going to like some of the other ones. They've got some great additional miniatures. It's not even £8, it's €8, which I think is about the same thing, but you know. Great alternate sculpt for Grim Ironjaw for a really interesting star player. So wrapping up with Grim, he's 200k, he's got block, he's strength 4, you've got multiple block, you've got frenzy, you've got dauntless. So you can punch 2 normal guys, you can punch 1 big guy, and you get another go if you're going to frenzy someone. If you're after some punch, if you're after some solid ability to brawl, Grim will get you that, and 200k is not bad. So I can see him being a pretty useful tool in a league. Not going to help you win a lot of matches with regards to it. He's got Edge 3+, that's not bad, I suppose. He's not your old school strength 4 Edge 4. He's no Griff, but he is only 200k. So if you want someone who's going to be able to support your line, beat up the opponent while the rest of your team does team things, I think Grim will work really well for you. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about Grim Ironjaw and I'm going to disappear. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Grim, what you think of all these star players so far, and who you want us to see cover next. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you again soon.